IBAN is an international non-profit organization bringing together member organizations and individuals from Europe and beyond. IBAN represents a sector estimated to invest 5.1 billion euros per year and comprises 260,000 angel investors. In 2012, almost 3,000 companies were funded through business angel networks, and 17,800 new jobs were created.
IBAN is the association for business angels, early stage market players, seed funds, and even venture capitalists. We also have crowdfunders, we have accelerators, all in our association. And basically what we're trying to do is to inspire private people and the private sector to invest in the next generation and to invest in innovation.
From the 14th to the 16th of December 2014, the Turkish Business Angel Association and the Istanbul Stock Exchange, Borsa Istanbul, organized a European Business Angels Investment Forum entitled Access to Finance from Startup to Scale-Up to Exits.
European Business Angels Investment Forum is, as a matter of fact, bridging Europe and other markets. We have over 200 participants from 36 countries, and angel investors are really interested in cross-border investments. They came together here to debate about the practical ways to access to finance for entrepreneurs, and they also asked how a stock exchange opened its doors to startups.
A business angel is an affluent individual who provides capital for a business startup, usually in exchange for convertible debt or ownership equity.
Usually business angels are serial entrepreneurs. The reason that they're serial entrepreneurs is so they've started 2 or 3 companies and they have had exits, which means that they have money to invest either in their next company or maybe in another startup that they have not started up themselves.
Angel investing is extremely risky. I always describe it as a better hobby than horses or yachts or so, okay? It's very expensive. So in other words, I believe you should be an angel investor who has been an entrepreneur, has made an exit, so it went kind of full cycle from founding a company until having a successful exit.
Business angels come in when you do have a product, when you have first revenues and first clients, and then they help you with your business.
If your idea is good enough, you're really convincing yourself, then you can be probably approach 3 different ways. So angel could be one of the options you can take first, because you can actually just approach them anytime you want. Then you can actually deliver your ideas. Then you can just go for the next steps. Also, you can reduce time. If you go through the VC, time consumption more, crowdfunding, your ideas are really built and is on public. So sometimes if you don't want to share with the ideas, the crowdfunding is not a best option.
If you just need money, you don't need to go to Business Angel. You can go to the bank. But if you value expertise and you need also networking, then you can come to Business Angel.
The Pan-Slovenian Shareholders Association, VZMD, has actively been cooperating with IBAN since last year's IBAN conference in Vienna. And after visiting this year's conference in Novogorica and Helsinki, VZMD President Mr. Christian Verbic, accompanied by the Investo.tv team, also attended the events in Istanbul within the framework of this year's 9th tour of the VZMD International Business Investment Programs, Invest to Slovenia, and International Investors Network. Before the Istanbul conference, the VZMD president also attended the Investors Conference organized by the European Federation of Financial Services Users, Better Finance in Wiesbaden, and crowdfunding convention organized by the European Crowdfunding Network in Paris, where he also met with the IBAN president, Ms. Candice Johnson.
we have to find new ways of financing growth in, quite frankly, a new generation and a new century. So, the old ways of doing they're not going to be good enough. So this is exploring those new ways and developing the new ways with stock exchanges, with crowdfundings, with business angels, and hopefully bringing them together to create a real, I don't call it value chain, I call it value net.
The European Commission has also recognized the importance of angel investment. EU-based companies can obtain EU funding and support through the Horizon 2020 program, while the European Angels Fund works hand in hand with business angels and helps them to increase their investment capacity by co-investing into innovative companies in the seed, early or growth stage.
Besides the overall grant funding which we have available for small medium-sized enterprises through Horizon 2020, there are some very specific activities which we would like to do with angel funding. So one is a co-investment fund where 30 million euros will go into an ICT-driven activities where we would like to invite BAs to team up. The whole area, the whole landscape is new, so we will do a couple of studies to learn how business angel and business angel support for research and innovation works in Europe. And maybe based on this, there would be more hands-on, more practical activities. And last but not least, there is a capacity building exercise planned possibly for 2016, if this development works through. As I was approached by one of the participants here, there is very much an interest for less experienced angels to get a mentor from abroad, from a different country, with an experienced angel, and through this is what we could support, this kind of networking, so that people could learn and develop and improve.
The EAF, the European Angel Fund, I think that's a very, very good move. They launched this in various countries. It's active now in Germany. It's starting, as I believe, in Ireland now, as we speak, and they want to roll it out all across Europe. What does it do? It matches the investment of angels and basically is like an amplifier. So if I invest 500,000 in a company, I can get another 500,000 from this EAF if I'm an accredited investor with EAF, European Angel Fund, and I think that's a very, very bold and great move.
Crowdfunding is a popular practice of funding a project or venture by raising monetary contributions from a large number of people, typically via the internet.
There are 4 types of crowdfunding. The first type of crowdfunding is donation-based. So donation-based is not it doesn't make a big impact in our market, in early stage market. Then we have a reward crowdfunding. So those companies that can test the product and go to the market and get the first clients. And that is a fantastic tool for business angels because it reduces the risk for our investment. Then we have peer-to-peer lending, which is growing very, very fast in several markets. Then we come to the equity crowdfunding. On equity crowdfunding, I believe on those models where you have a lead angel investor that talks with the entrepreneur, helps the entrepreneur, and then you have the crowd co-founding the deal.
What I've seen recently, and that's an interesting concept, is that crowdfunding platforms try to invest together with so-called lead angels. So that is the same like co-investment fund, but not from the government, but from a crowd, and accelerating and amplifying the lead angels or lead investors' capital. I think that's a very interesting concept to look into.
To help startups fill the equity gap, Borsa Istanbul introduced a private market platform which allows companies to have access to finances without going public, providing liquidity for company partners intending to sell their shares and offering investors the chance to find buyers to liquidate their investments.
A private market was launched by stock exchange, Borsa Istanbul. This is very important because startups need finance to fill the equity gap in their programs, in their business models.
it not just helps the stock exchanges to build a pipeline of IPO candidates over time, but it also helps these companies who are being listed there to have a greater audience of investors, not just among the angel community and private investors, but also more institutional investors may take a look into that.
As usual, notable presentations of companies, institutions, and investment projects included in the 2 VZMD business investment programs, Invest to Slovenia and International Investors Network, were also represented during all occasions, events, and conferences. After this year's successful presentations in Belgrade, Bled, Bratislava, Brussels, Buenos Aires, Grodno, Helsinki, Istanbul, Yaroslavl, Copenhagen, Madrid, Montevideo, New York, New Delhi, Ouagadougou, Paris, Piran, Praia, Reykjavik, Tehran, Warsaw, Wiesbaden, and last year in Astana, Almaty, Bled, Baku, Brussels, Buffalo, Bucharest, Cape Town, Celje, Dubai, Vienna, Kiev, Ljubljana, Madrid, Minsk, Moscow, New Delhi, Tokyo, Toronto, and Zagreb. The 2 VZMD International Business Investment Programs continue to provide for their partners effective presence and presentations on 5 continents. If you would like to take part in our events and activities, you are kindly invited to contact the VZMD Investo.si Program Coordinator by phone at +386 31 770 771 or email info@investo.si.